Imagine a day where you feel organized, focused, and in control of your time. I know, it's possible. Time blocking really is the key. And in this video, I'm just going to show you some strategies that you can use to really transform your busy days. Time blocking is a method where you structure your time according to the day, whether it's the work week, whether it's a weekend. It's basically how you want to use your time. And as you can see, I have my weekly schedule this week in different colors so you can visibly see how I am time blocking my week. So I want to show you how time blocking worked for me, and it's very different from a to-do list, okay? This is my to-do list here, and I also have one pertaining to my parents right here. A to-do list is an ongoing list where you're writing things down to have to get done. This is not that. A lot of people may confuse time blocking for to-do lists, but they are not the same. Time blocking is basically where I said before, where you take your specific times, whether it be in the morning, the afternoon, to structure your day. As you can see here, my morning routine is from 8 to 10, as I mentioned before. Unless I have an appointment or I'm cleaning or there's something going on with my parents, then that schedule does change. But I do have in the morning when my morning routine is, and that consists of getting up, showering, brushing my teeth, putting on lotion, getting dressed, cleaning up the house, tidying up the kitchen, cleaning the bathrooms, making sure everything is a-okay for my parents before they wake up and prepped and ready to go. In addition to that, I also have my parents' routine. That's getting them up, getting them their teeth brushed, making sure their ADLs are done, making sure they're bathed, making sure they have, clean clothes on, and getting them ready for the day. Then I usually read while they're eating because it takes them a long time to eat their meals. And I have that in my schedule. And then it's either lunch if they want or snack. And this day right here, if you notice, I took a nap because I wasn't feeling well. So I wanted to go ahead and kind of write that down. But time blocking, think of it as your personal time boundary. That is time that you place in your schedule for what you need to do for your task. Okay, that is your personal time boundaries. That is a boundary that you set with yourself to structure your day to accomplish those top 3 tasks that I mentioned in last week's video. If I go to this is a Hobonichi Weeks. If I go to Hobonichi Weeks, you can see that the schedule is very different, right? Because this is a weekly structure, and this is basically listing tasks that I need to accomplish. There's nothing about time. There's nothing related to time. There's nothing being time specific mentioned here unless it's an appointment. I do not have my day blocked out. So you can clearly see a difference. Time blocking is where you are taking your day and blocking out when you want to do specific tasks or specific items throughout your day. It increases productivity and it reduces stress. My stress has been reduced because I get to see what's happening during the day. Sometimes it can't be helped because my parents can be challenging, right? So there are days that are very difficult. And then it allows me to manage my time better. I get to see what's happening in my schedule. I get to see when I go to an appointment, if I have time to go to an appointment. Maybe I want to take my mom out to walk or exercise or go to Barnes and Nobles, things like that. And it allows me to focus because I'm not so overwhelmed by writing a constant to-do list. My to-do lists are right here, and I'm using the bullet journal method in order to write down my task list. And every week, my task list is very different. Every week, I put a line through what's complete, and I know what I am doing. And some weeks are longer than others. And I wanted to highlight how I'm using time blocking because I wanted you all to see how time blocking really is a way for you to create a system where you are doing things in a specific time-based routine. Remember, this is your personal time boundary. So why is time blocking essential for busy days? Basically, we all have those busy days, right? And then we have like a mental to-do list of everything we need to do. And we're all guilty of this, me included. So I make sure I write down what I need to do in my top 3 right here. And I want to make sure I write those down because I need to know what are the 3 most important things, or 1 thing or 2 things I need to accomplish, or task or items I need to accomplish that day, right? Once that is done, I want to kind of really lay out my day because I don't want to get distracted by organizing, let's say, my books for like 3 hours when I need to be doing something else. Or if I am reading, I don't want to go over time reading because I need to prep lunch at a specific time, or my parents' snack, which is usually around 2 or 3, right? And then usually dinner time is around 5 to 6 o'clock. If I do something else and it takes away from that time, my schedule kind of really messes up for me anyway, because my parents need to eat a specific time. So I like to make sure I am tracking what I am doing. Today, I have my morning routine. I read and finished a book in the morning. I had my parents' routine. And after that, I did a grocery errand with my mom. This took up so much time because I have to get her ready. I have to get myself ready. Then we have to go out the house. We have to go to the supermarket, get the groceries, right? Pay for the groceries, come back and take out all the groceries. Then I like taking everything out of my fridge, cleaning my fridge, disinfecting my fridge, and then putting everything back. That is a big chunk of time. And as you can see, that takes up quite a bit of my Saturday. And in addition to that, I already know, okay, this dinner today is going to be more laxed. It's not going to be something where I'm cooking or prepping for a long time because I had a busy day. So busy days are where you want to make sure you're structuring your time so that way you have enough time to do what is needed in your schedule, right? So this is a real life example of how I am using my schedule and my time. This gives me a sense of structure, a sense of purpose. I don't feel so overwhelmed. And then I was like, you know what? I really want to share this with my community because I know there are days that I'm just like having so many things to do and I need to see what my day looks like. I need to see, okay, if I'm going here, what else can I do so that way I can complete a specific task, or what else needs to be done during a specific day? And that's what time blocking allows. So how can you create your time blocking system? Start with a realistic assessment of your daily schedule and commitments. Do you go to work? If you go to work, what time do you go to work? If you stay home, what time do you take the kids to school? If you have kids, if you don't, what time do you start working from home? Or if you are someone who's a homemaker, what time do you start doing the laundry? What time do you start cleaning the kitchen? Do you clean a specific portion of the house? You get the point. So you really want to assess your daily schedule. And if you have appointments, if you have any commitments that you need to take care of, such as picking up your kids from clubs or something like that, then you really want to think about it. You also want to emphasize the importance of prioritizing tasks based on what is important in your life. Everybody's life is very different, okay? So what I may have important in my life, like going to an IEP meeting, or making sure my parents, end up going to their appointment, then I am going to make sure that is taken care of because that is something that is important for my life. You want to have a way that you can break down your large tasks into smaller chunks, right? Something that is more manageable for you to do. So instead of saying, cleaning the whole house, maybe on Monday, you're going to clean the kitchen. And on Tuesday, you're going to clean the bathrooms. And then on Wednesday, you're going to clean the bedroom. And Thursday, you're going to wash the bedding and wash the towels. And then Friday, you're going to clean upstairs. And then Saturday, you take it as a rest day. And then Sunday, you start with something else. So it's something that you can do where you are breaking down what you need to do. If you're someone like me who has to follow a specific routine, then you want to break that schedule down. My morning routine, my parents' routine, when I'm reading, when I'm making lunch, when I'm making dinner. These are all things in my schedule. And if I go to show you, for example, right, when I make dinner, this week was a little hectic because I had 2 appointments And then obviously I went to the supermarket, did a grocery errand. So you could see that my dinner time schedule was very different, right? You can see here what I just highlighted. My dinner was at different hours this week because I had appointments, and I had 2 appointments, and then I had a grocery errand. So you also want to allow flexibility when that happens. And then you want to make sure that you kind of time box and batch what you are doing. So for me, my morning routine is batch. I know I wake up, I shower, I brush my teeth, get dressed, put on my lotion, kind of vacuum, tidy up, and then I sit down, do my skincare, and that is my morning routine. Everything is batched together. My parents' routine, it's literally batched together. I get them up, have their teeth brushed, make sure they are bathed, make sure they're dressed, make sure they have their lotion on, make sure they're ready to eat and take their vitamins. That is another batch. When I read, I make sure I gather all my reading materials. This is my reading pouch, right? If I show you, I have my pens here, I have my markers here, and this was the markers I was using for the week. These are from Amazon. They are Zayar highlighter markers. I just got them, and I take this pouch with me. I sit down and read my book. I underline, I highlight, I tab, and I keep it moving. I like to batch things together, okay? And then you want to make sure that you do what suits you best. You need to make sure it fits in your schedule. So if you're someone that needs to block, like, okay, I need to see how long reading is going to take me. I'm going to set 2 hours for reading. Okay, here goes 2 hours for reading. I'm going to set 1 hour for dinner. And then maybe you want to relax and, do something here. And you're going to put relax. And you're going to put that time in. And then you're going to put down when you want to sleep. Maybe sleep goes here in the bottom. You get my point. You can really adjust the schedule in a way that works for you. You can break down when you're reading, how long dinner is. Maybe you went and ordered takeout, so it's shorter. This week I read a book, but not for too long. Things like that. This day I read a book for like an hour and then I napped. I literally napped all the way towards takeout time. I was so exhausted. I was not feeling well. So you get my point. You can time box when you're doing certain things. So that way you're able to see when and where and how your time is being used. So the more that you focus on what can I get done, how much time do I need to do it, and you start overwhelming yourself, you're not really going to set yourself up to succeed, right? What you want to make sure is that you're taking care of the most important task of the day, that you're organizing your day, that you get to assess what daily or weekly tasks you are committed to, what tasks you have to complete, and then what errands or items need to be done in your house or outside of your house. And then you kind of put that in your schedule, okay? And then when you do that, you write it out. Even if you have to make a list of everything you need to do during a week so you can assess how your time blocking schedule is going to do, I suggest doing that as well. And if you feel overwhelmed, start with 3 things per day that you can time block. 3 things. If that feels overwhelming, start with 1 thing. Hey, I want to make sure I get up in the morning enough to, shower, brush my teeth, get dressed, read for half an hour, get ready for work, and go. Or I want to get up in the morning, take a shower, brush my teeth, get dressed, do my skincare, listen to music, write in my journal, plan my day, and then I want to read like 10 pages of a book. Okay, so you need to put that time in your schedule. And that is one thing that you can do. Start small and then work your way up. You need to also experiment. If you are someone who uses a Hobonichi weeks, and I'm going to try to go to a day where I have like a schedule, right? If you're someone who uses a Hobonichi weeks, you could definitely create a schedule in the bottom of your Hobonichi weeks, and you can create when you work, when you have to do a specific task or item, and then you could also kind of schedule out your day based on the task that you are doing. You don't necessarily need to use a vertical planner. This is a horizontal planner. Again, this is a vertical planner. Horizontal is just going straight across, but with the Hobonichi weeks, you have more flexibility as to how you create your schedule, right? So you can see that I can definitely write a task list, everything I need to complete for the week here, and then I'm like gonna create a schedule based on that. So when it comes to time blocking, start small. Don't overwhelm yourself. It's something that you can do. And at the end of the day, remember, time blocking is a way for you to kind of manage your time, help you be organized and focused, and it makes you feel like you're in control. And celebrate your wins, celebrate your fails. Sometimes I don't get to do whatever I need to do during the day. And you know what? It's okay. I move it over the next day, especially with this bullet journal method. I have been loving this so much that it really has been helpful for me. Like, I know what a task is. I know what a note is now, whether something's canceled or completed. And you can see I have completed tasks right here, right? All my completed tasks are like slashed in red because I'm able to see, oh, I finished those tasks. So it's the same thing. So take it in stride, take it one day at a time. But time blocking is a way that you can achieve more in less time, as long as you go ahead and start with 1, 2, or 3 items, whatever you feel comfortable with, and you do it in a way that benefits you. So thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, bye.